welcome back to the channel. Now, if you're here for the music aspect of things and you're wondering, Tony watches wrestling? This doesn't sound like the type of thing I'd be into. Well, don't worry, that's just a cool name I have. I like wrestling, I like music, I like a lot of things. So if you are here for rock music or any kind of music and whatever, stick around because this will not be the last music video I make, I promise you that. And wrestling fans, you know, if you're like, oh, I don't really like music stuff, stick around, there's more music stuff coming, there's gaming stuff coming, there's all kinds of stuff coming. But yeah, let's get on to the video. I've always flirted with rock music here and there, you know, whether it be Paramore, Rise Against, Bring the Horizon, Blink, Avenged, you name it. I've dabbled here and there, but you know, I've always mainly listened to the big singles on and off. Nothing really ever truly stuck. I'd definitely fall into the category of somebody who'd be defined as like maybe a top 40 or a chart listener. That is, of course, with the exception of the indie phase that everyone had in 2010. But that all changed for me in one fateful summer afternoon in 2017. Because on that day, one of my best friends introduced me to a band that would completely dominate and change my taste in music forever. And that band was, of course, Neck Deep. Hot off the release of Peace in the Panic, Neck Deep were riding high. The album peaking at number 4 in the UK chart. This was a pretty big spot for them. The band had only been around for 5 years at that point, and yeah, they'd had 2 albums before this and a very successful EP as well. With every release, Neck Deep had made sure to make strong improvements. You know, the very strong EP ran in July was followed by a strong EP, A History of Bad Decisions, which would form a super EP, I suppose. The first album, Wishful Thinking, you know, it kept a lot of the raw edge and rough type of vocals from Ben Barlow, which won, you know, a lot of people over, and a lot of people still think that's their greatest album today. Neck Deep had great energy all around and had a lot of momentum. You could only really argue in modern pop punk that the story so far came on the scene as quickly and made as big an impact as quickly as Neck Deep did. This led to what I and many other Neck Deep fans consider to be their magnum opus, Life's Not Out to Get You. This wave they were riding was so high that Peace in the Panic released 2 years later, and undoubtedly looking back, it was a weaker album compared to Life's Not Out to Get You, but they had so much fanfare, they'd won so many people over that it didn't seem to affect them that much. And this finally brings us to a timeline where I discovered Neck Deep, driving on the way back to Asda, my friend's Peugeot, and you know, he was really spinning that album a lot. Obviously In Bloom had a lot of playtime, but that was to be expected. It was the hit single, it was the single that everyone loves, you know, one of my favourite tracks of all time. But In Bloom caught my attention for sure. It got stuck in my head, and you know, I did start playing that a lot because of him. But the one that had my attention was Critical Mistake, and I actually hated this song at first, you know, with the stupid answering machine gimmick, with the, you know, why do I even bother calling you, that kind of stuff. I hated it, I could not stand it. But you know what, it got stuck in my head. I think it was the simple riff that it was like that down 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 bow bow down. At the time I wasn't really a Spotify listener, and I was trying everywhere to find it on YouTube, and obviously it wasn't released as a single on YouTube. So I kept just saying to my friend, God damn, Critical Mistake stuck in my head. And you know what? He did me one of the greatest favours he ever did. He lent me Peace in the Panic. And from there, God, I fell in love. You know, there's so many great tracks on that album. You know, Motion Sickness is one of my favourite album intros of all time. It just sets a perfect tone of what a pop punk album should feel like. Followed by Happy Judgment Day, which fits kind of like, I guess, the panic aspect of that album. And also following on to that, you know, you've got Don't Wait, which brings back a lot of the early angst that Neck Deep had in a more polished and poppy kind of way, I suppose. The angst is brought back in the like a political lyricism of it all. And yeah, I'm not going to get into the whole politics aspect of it, and even if you don't agree or whatever, or you think it's cheesy, that you're entitled to that opinion. But you've got to agree that Sam Carter, whose guest vocals on this track, he really packs the punch, and you know, you can tell obviously from his exploits of Architects and Metalcore that he really added a different edge to this album, and it's one of my favourite Neck Deep songs of all time as well. Sure, there's tracks I'm not mentioning. There's like, you know, The Grand Delusion, Parachute, 1970 something, Wish You Were Here, and they're great songs, and I still love them to today. But this album connected with me because of songs like that. I still like them. Great pop punk songs, and obviously the latter being a great sad song about Ben's dad, Passion, which is a huge element of the album. This album just connected with me on an emotional level like nothing had before. I still don't know why, but I get really emotional when I hear Where Do We Go When We Go. I mean, it's not tears or anything, but I just feel really somber. I don't know how to explain it. And yeah, I get the emotional part is obviously because a lot of the Piece of the Panic is about Ben losing his dad. The Peace part is about him coming to terms with it, and the Panic's obviously about where he sees where the world is at the time, and yada yada yada. But there's just some something that connects to me, and I can't put my finger on what it is. So you're probably thinking, well, why has he done a video on this? He's just talking about tracks and stuff. But I wanted to explain how it changed everything I wanted out of music. It was almost a gateway drug for me. I mean, from here I really got into my pop punk. Wonder Years, The Story So Far, Real Friends, Knuckle Puck, State Champs, As It Is. You name it, I got into them all. There's probably more I'm missing. Thanks to that, I started going to gigs, and it wasn't really a gig goer. And I even started going on like alternative nights out, which is very important to me. Coming from where I'm coming from, you know, in my hometown, we had like 3 nightclubs. One of them played house music, one of them played pop music. I guess they'd occasionally play Girl All the Bad Guys Want by Bowling for Soup, but that's it. Another one, you know, did have like a little rock segment, but they play like Linkin Park, Fall Out Boy or Paramore, and it'd be like one song and the rest would just be pop music. So that was really important to me, to find something that could like find somewhere where I could like my taste would belong. And big ups to Rise in Newcastle, a brilliant alternative nightclub which helped me discover a lot more. It helped me get over the hump with heavy music. I used to be one of those people who was like, oh, that's too loud and too heavy. But you know, from here I got into like Bring Me the Horizon more, Amity Affliction, Beartooth, Shikari. Even though they're not metalcore, I guess I dare remember Of Mice and Men, Parkway Drive, you name it. It was all thanks to this journey, I guess. And I remember on the time I went back to my local college to study media, and this is how much this album like affected me, I guess, in a good way. I finished my diploma by making a music video, a pop punk music video. It totally sucked, but now with what I know now, you know, I know why it sucked and what I could have done next time. And I know that while I'm currently doing a degree in film and TV, and when it's all said and done, you know, I want to direct, shoot, and produce or whichever music videos for a lot of smaller bands in the alternative scene. Although it would be really cool to shoot a video for Neck Deep. So it's hard to explain, but I owe a lot, you know, to this album and Neck Deep. It helped me work out a really like directionless time in my life and gave me like goals. I know it's weird that a song and an album can do that, but it did. Not only that, like music's really an emotional thing, and now I have bands that I connect to, and whichever mood I'm in, happy, sad, somber, you know, it doesn't matter. I have something I can put on and it'll know how I'm feeling. And I don't think that can be bought or replicated, and it's helped shape me further into who I am as a person. It's really important to me. Before going out, I decided to give you guys an experience of what I kind of felt along this journey. So I made a Spotify playlist. Go check it out. It's up there somewhere. This is going to be in the description. Check it out and, you know, experience what I experienced along the way on my journey. Despite the name again, I will be doing more than just wrestling content, although I will be doing wrestling content too. You know, music, TV, games, films, wrestling, all kinds of stuff. Video essays, gaming, I stream on my friend's Twitch. I don't have good enough internet to stream on my own, so I have to just stream with him, but go check those out. I'll leave that in the description too. And yeah, I've got a lot of other things coming on the horizon which I'll announce soon. And yeah, just stay tuned. I'm just exploring. I'm having fun with it. You know, YouTube's I'm not really a genre specific channel, as I like to say, which is kind of, again, thanks to this kind of whole journey in music has helped me discover that. But yeah, I've got a lot of different stuff on the horizon, so just stay tuned. It's going to be a fun time. I'm just experimenting, having fun. As I say, this isn't a business for me. This isn't a means to make money, like, you know, sure, one day that'd be kind of cool, but it's nothing like that right now for me. It's just, I like telling stories. I don't even know if I'd call these video essays or just personal stories or love letters. Who knows what they are, but there's more to come. So anyway, peace out, guys. It's been fun. Thank you.